Hi everyone, I am Chris from Fast Lane Academy, and if you have never heard of me before, I'm a seven-figure seller on Amazon. I've been selling on Amazon for over 6 years, and today I'm going to save you from disaster by showing you the 10 products you should never sell on Amazon. Now, before we get started, the reason why you shouldn't sell most of these products is because of the high competition levels and little to no profit margins. But I threw a couple of products in there that have high liability and inventory storage risks. So I'm going to explain everything. Let's jump over to Amazon and get started. Okay, so let me show you the metrics that I'm going to use to determine how awful most of these product choices are from a profit margin perspective primarily. So you know that this isn't just my personal opinion or something I'm just pulling out of a hat. Now, if you haven't seen my other YouTube video on how to sell on Amazon, you should definitely check that out, because in that I show you step by step how to do this and where to get all of the tools for doing these calculations. Now, I'm not going to go over all of that again here, but if you don't believe me, I'm going to leave a link to the Helium 10 software below this video. If you want to go out there and get it, it's free and you can check these calculations for yourself. But I'm basically using the Helium 10 Chrome extension that's going to calculate all the fees and shipping and everything we need to know if products are profitable. And then I also use Alibaba to kind of get an estimate on what product cost is going to be. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Now, what I've done is I've added up all the costs that are involved in sourcing, shipping, and selling these products on Amazon, and then we subtract the average selling price of the top 10 organically ranked products on Amazon so that we can determine what the net profits would be that you would be left over with if you were selling this product. Because usually the top 10 products, you're going to need to be in that range somewhere. If you're priced over that, then it's going to be tough to rank organically and get a lot of sales. So we just kind of average those out, and then we plug in all the fees, and we see what happens. So the scary thing is that if you've watched any outdated YouTube videos on how to sell on Amazon or source products to sell on Amazon, then you've probably seen some of these products that I'm going to go over being recommended to sell, which would be absolutely disastrous. So anyway, here we go. This is not necessarily in any order of importance because all 10 of these are terrible product choices. So let's dive right into number one, which is yoga mats. So quickly on this first slide, I'm just going to go over these numbers, and then the rest we're just going to breeze right through to the most important part, which is how much profits, if any, you're going to have. Number one is yoga mats. This is really popular on YouTube to go after this product, but it's an absolute disaster because when you launch this Helium 10 calculator, what it does is it takes the dimensions and weight of the product, and then it matches that against a database of what the shipping costs are from China at this time, and then it fills in the product price. We have to adjust that manually for whatever the average price is. And then here we put in our manufacturing costs, which we get from Alibaba, and then it calculates the freight cost based on this information from China. Sometimes we have to adjust this because this unit freight cost, a lot of times they undershoot that, and I've sourced thousands of products overseas, so I kind of know what that should be. So sometimes we pad this number a little bit to make up for any differences here. And then here's all your Amazon fees, and then at the bottom is your net profit. So here's what we got. The average selling price of these yoga mats was between 16 and 20, so we averaged it out at 18. And one of the big problems with these yoga mats is not only is it super competitive, and you would pay a fortune to try to get these ranked, especially in pay-per-click costs, but all of these have multiple colors, so you can't just stock one item. You actually have to stock, 6 to 10, which, obviously can 5 to 10x your product inventory cost. So that's a major problem, not to mention the high competition. This had the least amount of reviews. A lot of these had thousands of reviews. So what you can see when you're all said and done is that this product is a complete loss. You would lose $2.47 per unit on average. Even if you could get the high end of $20, you'd barely be breaking even. So this is a product you want to definitely stay away from. So let's jump to number two, which is skincare products. Now, I put skincare products, not this specific product, because pretty much every skincare product out there falls into this same category. Because I know, because I sold skincare products. I made a lot of money a few years ago when these were easy and not competitive, but the competition has moved in and eliminated all of the margins here, And this example here is pretty indicative of every single beauty or skincare product there is. So you want to stay away from skincare products because once again, factored out these prices. Now the unit manufacturing costs, I knew that because I actually still sell this product, very few of them per month because of all the competition. But I put my actual product cost in here, and the time is all said and done, net profits 17 cents, which is horrendous, obviously. So stay away from skincare products. Number 3, makeup brushes. These were really popular as well. Average price here is $10. Once you're done with your sourcing and your fees, you are left with 5 cents per unit, which is a complete waste of time. Obviously, there's no money in makeup brushes. So let's move on to the next one. Okay, now this is a general suggestion here, and this is seasonal holiday products. Now, these are products that only sell like 2 months out of the year, like Halloween, Christmas, and major holidays. And once again, these used to be a great opportunity about 2 years ago. There was hardly any competition for these, and you could make a lot of money in seasonals. And actually, we transitioned the majority of our products into seasonal, but we transitioned out about 8 to 10 months ago because the competition had just got horrendous with a lot of these, and there was just no incentive anymore to carry that risk. And the reason why there's risk here is probably quite obvious. If you order, let's say you ordered 1,000 of these units and you got them here and you only sold 500, well, guess what? Come November 1st, you are stuck with 500 units, and now you have to not only pay to send them back from Amazon, but now you have to store them for almost a year, and then you have to pay to send them back, and it's just a complete nightmare. So I highly recommend you stay away from all seasonal products because of that. It's just too much risk and too much competition, especially for new sellers. So the next one is giant pool floats. Once again, this is a product I have experience in. About 2 years ago, this was all the rage. We made great money for 1 year, and then once again, competition moved in, and these products, just to give you some perspective, these were going for about $49.99 a couple of years ago, and there was a great product margin. I mean, almost, it was almost $20 per unit. Now, these are once again somewhat seasonal because they sell in late spring and all summer, so it's a little bit longer season, a little bit less risk. But once again, a whole bunch of people have moved into this. The average price is actually a little bit lower than this. Most of these were around $25. This is actually on the high end, but as you can see, even in the best possible scenario of $30, it's still a loss of 30 cents per unit. So stay away from giant pool floats. Next, we have in the toys and games category, play food. This was something I almost sourced. I actually went to China and was really close to pulling the trigger on this one, but fortunately, I ran the numbers, and it was, even back then, 2 years ago, the numbers just still didn't work out to enough margin to make it worth your while. These are really big, so time you're all said and done, you're left with 87 cents per unit, which is obviously not the route you want to go. So next one, bubble wands. These are those little soap bubbles that the kids, play with and make. These are really popular. They're actually in the bestseller list in toys and games, but once you're all said and done, product cost, you're down to an 85-cent margin. So next, we're going to go to another general recommendation here. This is anything that plugs in. Not only do you have the high liability issues involved with this, but there's a lot of certifications, government certifications you have to get. It's an absolute nightmare to source any product that plugs in, not to mention, of course. So I was very dramatic here, but realistically, this could happen. I don't know if you guys remember a while back those hoverboard things that this happened a lot with. And basically any small malfunction in manufacturing or quality control can lead to a house fire. You don't want that obviously on your conscience or being sued and having to pay the rest of your life for that. So stay away from anything that plugs in. Number 9, ball pit balls. These are those little balls you find, like Chuck E. Cheese, or in those little play pins you get at home. This is also in the bestseller list, but it's a terrible product. Time it's all said and done, you're actually losing $3 per unit. I don't know why these people are even selling these. It's just, I did the math 3 different ways, and it just is a complete loss every single time. So stay away from ball pit balls. And finally, number 10, we have shea butter. This was a bestseller in beauty. Now, there's two different types of shea butter. This one here is regular shea butter. This goes for about $10 a pound, and it's about $4 to source it. So time it's all said and done, you're left with negative 53 cents, another loss. Now, there's also organic shea butter. And here's the thing with organic shea butter. It does sell for a little bit more, but it also costs you about 50% more. You can probably squeeze out maybe $1 or $2 margin, but here's the problem with that. The organic shea butter is, there's a huge problem with that. There's a lot of sellers that claim to be organic online, but they're not really organic. They're getting this stuff from China. It's not really certified, and you can get in a lot of trouble if you're not certified. And we actually, this is another product that we carry. We still carry because we still sell a few units a month because we got in about 5 years ago and kind of established a good brand name, and now we just get repeat sales. We don't get much off organic and Amazon because it's so competitive now. But I can tell you that organic shea butter costs about almost $7, and there's a lot of paperwork and certifications you got to go through. You got to pay for that annually. It's a lot of headache and red tape for maybe, you know, $1 or $2 a unit. Either one is just not a good road to go down. So stay away from shea butter. And that's it for the top 10. Now, here's the thing. You know, this obviously isn't a comprehensive list of all the products that you should stay away from, but hopefully this has opened your eyes to how important it is to conduct thorough research on every single product that you're considering selling on Amazon. You're going to need to get all your estimated costs, your shipping, your Amazon fees. You need to check to see what the average selling price is for, say, the top 10 products that are organically ranked on page 1 on Amazon. Then you're going to have to do the math, and you want to see if it's a viable opportunity. Now, the free Helium-10 extension will save you a ton of time, the one that I mentioned, and so will that VS Quick View. So be sure to pick both of those up. I'm going to leave the links below this video to get those. And what you're looking for whenever you're doing this is you want a healthy margin of at least $3 to $4. You want preferably a little more than that, but $3 to $4, you know, a lot of times is a viable start. Because here's the thing. You're going to have advertising costs, you're going to have inspection fees, you might undershoot your freight costs, and a lot of times there's other unplanned costs that are going to pop up along the way. So even if you get this down to $2, $1 or $2, you know, margin, that can easily be eaten up. So you want to give yourself plenty of margin there. So that's it for the top 10 list. Stay away from these products. Thank you for watching, and as always, if you have any questions or comments, you can post those below. And be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel so you can get notifications when we post new training videos like this one. And make sure that you pick up those extensions that I left below.